And it's not going to be... I used to have mints growing on the vents in front of the greenhouse, and that allows... The mint has a smell, and it would attract the beneficial insects down there, and then it moves it in here. The parsley here, Tritogama, and Carcia formosa, these are little microscopic wasps that you have to see with a lens. Those are the ones that are parasitizing the aphids and the whitefly. I'm just trying to get a little bit of this on tape. What are those right there? Kale, okay? That's red Russian kale. It's going to flower. The peas have been there for about a year. The kale was just hiding back there, and I was feeding it all winter long. Arugula flowers down in the bottom bed. There's a little box down there where I let arugula just go and volunteer, go to seed, go to flower, and I went to art museums, whatever. We could do all of that, with greenhouses like Michael helped me design over there, or different kinds of hoop houses, and we're doing it at the schools. It's a slow process, but and we're doing it without any funding for the most part. One thing that's different about this bed right here is that there's no digging. Last year, tomatoes, eggplants, and cucumbers were growing in this bed and this bed here, all trellised up in here, up to this high. You could just come in and get tomatoes. When those things started, when I knew it was going to freeze in December, a little bit, we pulled all the tomatoes off and put them, green ones, and put them on a box. And they slowly ripened way up until February even. Sometimes we had tomatoes. And we got the place ready for the next crop. Again, we want to do successions in greenhouses. That it really helps with the pest control as well. You try to force something. In the other greenhouse that's tropical, I do have peppers and tomatoes growing for 5-10 years at a time. That's okay, some of them. But most of the areas you want to move from one crop to the other, unless it's a perennial. It's just healthier. So what we did is pull down all the vines and lay them down on the ground. And we didn't do any digging. And then we covered it with some llama manure and some stable cleanings from a llama. Put about this much on that. And then we put some leaves on top of that and worms in it. And let that sit for about 2 or 3 months. And all the worms were working on that. And there was no digging. There was no insect problem with any of those plants. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. If there was aphid problems, I might have taken those out and fed them to the chickens. But as long as there's no insects, they can go right where they're at, and they can break down just, the leaves fall on the ground. And then what I did, and we're going to be doing that today, I came in and put about this much, and then I broadcasted. So that's the kind of gardening we're doing. It's called sheet mulching and broadcasting. If you didn't do it direct seed, you could also transplant into that, which we're going to do that this afternoon. The only thing that's electric is a fan. Hot air and pumps it down into the soil into 4-inch PDS pipes. And this is a very simple one. We put it in all greenhouses. And we did 5 courses in the growing dome at Yampa. So, and so look at this. This is actually some salad greens that we transplanted from over there. Since they were broadcasted, they're real thick. Right behind you is some. Lift that up, and you can see arugula. That's just direct seeded again.
So can we plant that outside?
Right now you
arugula?
Can. Yeah. See, I'm getting a head start on all this, and now you can start planting arugula outside. As long as you use some rime, and in 35, 40 days you'll be eating it.
Rime? I don't know what that is.
That's that row cover.
This. This is very heavy with me, though.
Again, what you see over on this other side is all the tomatoes and stuff that were cut and laid down, and I threw some stable cleanings down there and then a little bit of soil. Again, the same process of just residues, a little bit of manure, worms, and then soil if you want to broadcast something on. You could just transplants that I have up in there. So you don't have to be digging and adding compost. You can do it another way. So if you find that it works for you that way.